What's going on, everybody? It's Chris Classic dropping another video today. I'm trying to do them weekly. Work with me now, man. Dealing with work and dealing with a whole bunch of things. I'm grateful for people who are subscribed, shared, commented, gave their opinions if they agree to disagree. Before we go on, make sure if you haven't, thank you for watching this. Please subscribe, please like, please comment. Also to subscribe to the C3 Ultimate channel. We changed our name. All the matches from Guys vs. Gals is up. And now we're doing promo and work for Kingdom Come, which is September 18th, 2021, Hammond, Indiana. I wanted to do something interesting today. The biggest thing in wrestling right now is Malakai Black, formerly known as Aleister Black, formerly known as Tommy End. He debuted at AEW this week. So then 2 days, I think the video was 2 days ago on the AEW YouTube page. It's already over 1 million. That says something. A lot of people are like, yeah, we're happy he went to AEW. Some people are bummed out that he did not return to WWE because his wife is signed back. So I want to talk to you about, like, is it always good when a wrestler goes to another company? Do they hit the pinnacle, pun intended, when they go to another company? Do they make their value better, or does the company even see them as a main event? These are my opinions. I am not meant to offend. Let's go with it. Okay, we'll start with Malakai Black. Okay, this guy was already popular on the independent scenes, and then with the NXT packages and everything like that, people were just interested in him. You know, I'm an Undertaker fan, so when you see somebody with a character, you like that, and I get drawn to it. Now with the demonic stuff, I'm older now. I can phase that out, not pay attention to it or whatever like that. But you can tell that at the time, NXT had so much planned for him. And then when he dropped the title, he eventually went up, got called to the main roster. So a lot of people think sometimes that when you get called up to the main roster and you are popular in NXT, you do well, and sometimes it doesn't. More times, I don't think there's a lot of NXT champions that went on to be great WWE champions. Oh, I had a long push. But going into that, you know, the storyline with Seth, couple stale storylines, couple things, trading losses and everything like that. You know, NXT built him up like a beast. So, you know, a lot of people are like, they don't know what they want to do with him or whatever like that. Then he comes back, attacks Big E, so everybody's like, ooh, this is interesting. He got the book, he got the character, and he's selling his eye injury, which is something that I appreciate. You know, a lot of people don't recover from eye injuries. Hint, hint, Rey Mysterio. But then he was on the list to get released. So that was a shocker. A lot of the releases were shockers. So we were like, oh, okay, well, we know he's going to go somewhere. We knew that he had potential. Like with even Andrade, we knew that he had potential as well. We knew he was going to go somewhere. If it wasn't AEW, it was Impact, it was independent scenes, it was something. You're going to do something big. So Andrade didn't have the 90-day clause. He shows up to AEW. Everyone was crazy, loses their mind. Aleister goes, everyone loses their religion. They went crazy. It went dark. Then he showed up, black mask, some poor arm, almost turned into dust. Then tricked Cody, and then gave him a black mask too with his little black church shoes. Anyway, he did it. That was all. He came out. He had the video package that came out that day, and it just showed. Now, I'm not gonna really go into if WWE knew or didn't know about it, about this clause in this contract. That's for everybody else to talk about and ridicule or bring to the light. What he did was, it was a good impact. And to me, I feel like, I almost called him Aleister, I feel like Malakai is going to be big in AEW. Now when I say big, I don't mean, oh, he's just going to win the championship. I think this is something that, like, a lot of people pull for. There's not a lot of characters in WWE that a lot of people be like, you need to push him or he'll be better here or whatever like that. Or you know that if he goes somewhere else, he's going to be the top guy. So we'll see with that. Andrade, I'm not going to lie, I am still on the fence with him. I like him. I loved his work in NXT. I liked his work in WWE. So we'll see where it goes from here. But this is the point that I want to get to. when you want a lot of wrestlers who got released from a company to go to another company, there's a possibility that the company might push them above other people that's been there. But then there's also a possibility that they might be below. They might not see a championship. They might not be championship contenders. They just might be just good wrestlers that's just trying to work. You know, everybody wants to win a championship in a company. I'm not going to lie. As a promoter and a wrestler, who doesn't want to go to the top and win a championship? But the reality is, sometimes it's an order, or you might get pushed in the front, or you might get pushed in the back, or you might be in the middle, or it might take years. So, for example, Miro, aka Rusev from WWE. Everyone, a lot of people, I can't speak for everybody, but a lot of people are happy that he is the TNT champion on AEW. And they're like, yeah, they're pushing him right. Yeah, they're pushing him right better than WWE did. And I'm like, I kind of don't see the difference, except Lana isn't with him. But he was a beast in WWE when he started as well as Alexander Rusev. Do we not remember? Do we not remember when he had the Jerry curl? Do we not remember when he was beating up people and putting them in the Accolade, a camel clutch? They had to smell this man's feet in his camel clutch. He beat Cena, he beat Big Show, he beat Sheamus, he beat Mark Henry. Like, this guy beat a lot of people. Now, years later, after Rusev Day fizzled out, okay, it just wasn't good. And it could have been punishment about him and his wife saying they got engaged when they were in the middle of a storyline, saying that they were basically messing around with other people. I don't know. I'm not back there. But like I'm saying, like, wasn't he like a 2-time United States champion? He's only won the TNT championship one time. And I don't know how long he's going to have it. I'm enjoying some of his stuff. I'm enjoying his character work. Like, his character is a little bit better than he was in WWE because he had somebody speaking for him, or he just sounded like a klutz. He's kind of working his way to being more serious. So we can't just sit here and just be like, oh, he's treated better here because he has a championship. Because he had championships in the other company. He was a beast. Like I said, all the people that he beat. Like, he beat a lot of good people. With AEW, they're still working on their stars and they're trying to do things. But he's just beating, like, the younger guys. And I'm sorry, but now his accolades are a little bit bigger in WWE. We're giving it time, but I'm just saying, it was just a perfect example. Now, Alistair was a big deal, too, when he was in WWE as well. He's a big deal now. And like I said, I do see him going more to the top. I see Andre going up. I see Andre coming in and out. I'm not going to lie. You know, no offense to him, no offense to them, but I see him going in. I know that he probably has other shows that he wants to wrestle for and stuff like that. And I'm sure Malakai does too, because a lot of these workers that work for AEW work at Independence and they work on a lot of matches and everything like that. Like even title match. Shout out to Title Match Network. But going back to the topic, it's so easy to just say, okay, well, this company is going to treat them better. But sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. Now, I'm going to say one of my favorite wrestlers in AEW. This is my favorite. One of my favorites. I love Lance Archer in AEW. When he was in WWE, I did not pay him any attention. When he was Lance Hoyt in TNA, I kind of paid attention to him. But it was for the wrong reasons. Because he knew how to break dance when he was teaming with R-Truth. I don't know if you guys remember that. Now, I know he was in a Rocket Rave infection with Jimmy Rave and Christy Hemme. Yeah, man, I'm kind of old. But I like him as the Murder Hawk. But it's like, I just feel like the way they're setting him up, he's just going to be a contender. And that's the thing about wrestling, is that sometimes you have people that are role players, and that's just something that people have to understand. Justin Credible, right? Justin Credible knew he was a role player in ECW. I know he won the title, but he knew he was a role player. Brooklyn Brawler, Barry Horowitz, I think I said his name right. These guys knew that these guys were role players. When legends used to come in WWE, especially in the Ruthless Aggression era, putting over the younger stars, role playing. And I think people need to realize that sometimes our favorite wrestler won't hit that pinnacle at the company you want them to. Maybe on the independent scenes, if you do follow them on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever, you'll see them hit that. They have a better chance of being that because these major companies have storylines. But if you do have a big signing, they might skyrocket the person that they just signed. And I can see that with Malakai Black, and I can see that with Andrade. I don't know why I keep calling him Andrade. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But these are things to think about. Like, what if they were treated better at WWE than AEW? Or the other way around. What if Brie Priestley, she just signed to WWE? What if they treated her better than AEW? Than when she was in AEW? Now, I don't see a lot of people talking about that, but that is a possibility. A lot of people aren't talking about that she is wrestling on NXT UK. But at the same time, she might win a championship. She might have a historic run. But it's not even just these companies. Look at Deonna Purrazzo. She is killing it on Impact Wrestling as a Knockout champion. She's a 2-time Knockout champion. She is killing it. So she's doing good in Impact. And it's funny because people still ridicule Impact because of how small it got. But look at her. Like, to me, if any company needs to sign her, it should be those two. And if she wants to stay with Impact, that's fine. Like, she is showing, she is really putting on for women's wrestling right now. And I think that we should at least talk about that a little bit more. She's been killing it. So, what I'm basically trying to say is, I can't even say to each his own. Because WWE might see this person as a jobber. AEW might see this person as mid-card. And Impact, I'm just using that Impact as an example, might see them as a main event. Look at Christian Cage, right? Christian Cage was mid-card in WWE. He knew that he really wasn't going to go at the top. No offense to Christian. I like Christian. I think Christian's a little bit better than Edge. But anyway, Christian goes to TNA Impact, becomes Christian Cage. What the heck? The Instant Classic. What? Christian. The Frog Splash. Putting on matches. Great matches with AJ Styles. Great matches with Kurt Angle. Jarrett. A lot of people. And look at what happened with him. This guy was the top champion in TNA when TNA was big. Was real big. Like, people were saying this was competing with WWE. He did that. Great matches. Like, this man showed you how much of a great worker he was in TNA. Then he resigns with WWE. He got a title. Well, he got 2 title reigns, I believe. The ECW and the World Heavyweight. He won the World Heavyweight on the technicality because his brother Edge had to retire. But we won't go into that. I think that he should have won it regardless. You know, my opinion. Would have been an awesome feud with Edge and Christian if Edge didn't retire. But these are great examples that, like, just because one company doesn't see them as such, another one will. But at the same time, and I don't want to bring up any other wrestlers because I don't want them to get offended. I don't really want to offend nobody. But sometimes they go to another company, we assume they're going to win top titles, and they don't. And it sucks. But at the same time, maybe they're cool with that. We don't ask the wrestlers, are they cool? We just assume because if they lose a lot or if they don't win titles, that they hate their job or they're miserable or they're not getting paid enough for this or they should be treated right on the indies. There's a thing. We need to think about role players. Some of these wrestlers are great role players. Everybody can't win. That's my closing thing. Everybody can't win. Everybody can't be a champion. Everybody can't be undefeated. Everybody can't lose. That's true. Everybody can have a losing streak. You shift things. You test things out. And that's what all of these companies do. Some do it better than others. And sometimes it works for this company and now it doesn't work for that company or that company. So we just got to realize that everyone cannot be number one. It may take years for some of these wrestlers to even be champion. They may not even be champion. But as long as they're having fun and they're good, you know, we put them up there and we just think they're going to automatically win a championship as soon as they get signed. That's low-key why Impact low-key fizzled out the way it did. Because you had your AJ Styles, your Christopher Daniels, your Samoa Joes, you had Kazarian, you had Elix Skipper, you had all of the Chris Sabin, you had Alex Shelley. You had all of these guys that, I don't want to say were homegrown in TNA because some of them were little. AJ Styles in the WCW, you guys don't remember. But as soon as these other guys started coming in, they started giving them titles and they started beating AJ. They started beating the front line, we'll call them that. And it fizzled out. We didn't like it. Hogan, Bischoff, it was interesting at one point, but then we just didn't like it. Dixie Carter, oh my God. It was too late. Nobody cared no more because it was just like, you guys keep bringing in these guys. And that's one thing I will say about AEW is that it's slow. How they do it slow. If they are, you know, hiring more people or whatever like that. You know, Christian is working, but I think a lot of us will want to see Christian win a championship. Just my personal opinion. But like I said, like, you can't. I think that's just a bad business move. And maybe that's why they signed so many people. What TNA did at one time, we'll give you a title shot. We'll give you a title match. We'll give you the title. Please get the title. It's never a good thing. Because you do push your guys back. That goes back into my thing. All right, if AJ's about to win the title, and then let's say Kurt Angle comes in. Okay, we're going to give it to Kurt. Oh, no disrespect. And then Christian comes and blah, 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 blah. You can start pushing people down. And sometimes you don't have to. It's okay to not win a title. It's as long as you're having fun. This is Chris Classic. I just wanted to talk about that before I close. I'm sorry. I sound like a pastor in church. Anyway, yeah. I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There are a few more topics I want to cover. Maybe I'll do them tomorrow. Maybe I'll film them today and then just premiere them on Monday. But this is Chris Classic. I hope you enjoy your night. Let's take it home.